story that I've been on the internet now for a while. I've listened, I've watched it, I've heard people make comments about it. It's about Korra Obidi and Justin Dean. But looking at the story and the trend it's taking, I think if I heard the latest is that Justin Dean, who is the husband, now has custody of the children. And that didn't sound well to me because as a mother, I know what it means for you to lose custody of your children. If you're here for the first time, I like to say, welcome. This is the right place to be here. I'm not saying it just because I want to say it, but because this is the channel that is unique. This channel is unique because what we do here is to help us, all of us, everybody that comes across here, including me talking, to discover us. I do that by bringing out principles of life. You know, life operates on principles, life operates on laws, consciously or unconsciously. What happens in the physical realm is what is translated from the spirit realm. In other words, in the physical realm, if you break a law, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. That's exactly what happens in the spiritual realm too. If you break a law, the consequences follow you. So what we do here is we bring out people, we bring out events, we bring out biblical stories, we bring out past events, everything and anything to buttress certain truths about life. And we do that because when you learn from other people, you save yourself a lot. And so that's what we do in this channel. We bring out things that bring out principles, we bring out people, we learn how they're succeeding. Because like somebody said, the success or the story of great men is in their stories. So we bring out the principles and we learn them and we apply them to ourselves. Because principles are principles. Whoever applies any principle automatically will get the results. It's like planting. If you plant cassava, you will get cassava. If you plant corn, you get corn. You do not expect to plant cassava and then get corn. So that's what we do here in this channel. We bring out life principles. We look at the lives of people. Why are they succeeding? Why are they doing this? Why is this happening to them? And I do that because there is nobody who is so special on earth. Everybody is special. That's why I said this channel is for the most important person on earth, because you are important. You're not just important, but you are very, very important. Why do I say that? There's something that you can do that no other person can do the way you can do it. There's something in your hands. What you have is unique. What I have is unique. What you have is different from what I have. So what we do here is make sure that we bring out principles that when you apply them, you will become the very best version of you. That's what this channel is committed to doing. So like I said earlier in my intro, I've watched, listened, and analyzed the story of Korra Obidi and Justin Dean. And I just want to lend my voice to bring out a few things about life. If you listen to Korra, just listen to this.
Oh, guys, don't get divorced. Get separated. But divorce is not for the weak. And separated from your 6-month-old for a whole week is not for the weak. It's not. I try to keep my composure all week long. But last night I broke because I saw something. I saw strangers touching my child. I broke. It's not for the weak. Divorce is not natural. It's necessary sometimes. So you better make sure that you know that I'm going through it for sure. I'm going through it. I'm going through the thick of it. I'm right in the heart of it. Oh my gosh, I feel a lot better.
Me,
if I have another bae, I will never, ever put him online. You people will destroy it like he destroyed my first marriage. Nonsense. I will hide it from you. I will hide it from your jealous goat's mouth. And that I remember those times. Someone will go and email him. Look at what your wife is doing. Look at what you every day. Jesus. How will he not run away? How will he not disappear? How will he not tell me, back out of my house? That's 5 days postpartum. How will he not do that? When some of you will do that.
She talked about the fact that because she brought out her husband into social media, that's why people began to talk. Some used to inbox her husband, and that if she ever gets another husband, that she will not bring him out for people to see and make their judgments and impute. That's the first thing. I think there is a word that is called secret. There's another word that is called private. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 29:29 that the secret things belong to God, which means even God Almighty has secrets. Then what about you and me? There are some things that should be kept in the closet. If you look at your body, you realize that some parts are exposed, some parts are concealed. It wouldn't be nice if you bring out the parts that are concealed out there in the public. That's why sometimes you see people, complain about, oh, this person is exposing so much because the person did not cover up the part that is meant to be covered. That's why we have curtains, that's why we have doors, that's why we have windows, because they close and make our lives be private. There are some things you don't put out in the public. So I think number one thing to learn from Korra, Obidi, and Justin Dean's story is the fact that they took their private life out there in the public. And anything that gets into the public domain, there is even a public court that does not go through the rules and regulations. As soon as you get into that court, what people do to you is they pass their judgment. They do not even know what is happening because they only know the part of the story that probably some other person lifted. So they took their story outside. So number one thing is, please keep your secret secret. Keep your private life private. It's not everything you put out there. And I don't know if Korra would watch this video, if by any reason she watches it, and even Justin Dean. You need to keep your children out of the public domain. These are little children. They've not yet decided or formed or even come to terms with who they really are. So would you use them to be trading, quote and unquote, trading, because that's what you do for a living. You do get your living by putting yourselves out there in the public domain. I think it's wrong. Number two thing that I want to say is the fact that beyond keeping your private life private and your secret secret, the third one, like I said now, is please keep your children out of the public domain. You can do whatever you want to do with yourself, but I think these children are too little for people to put them out there. I'll tell you a story. You know the story of Samson, the powerful man in the Bible who would go out, carry a gate, who would pull down things, who would, destroy a whole lot of people, who could fight with his bare arms, destroy animals and people with his bare arms. Do you know Samson did not die or was not killed because Samson was in love with a woman? No. It was because Samson divulged what he ought not to have divulged. What am I talking about? I'm still talking about the fact that you need to keep your secret secret. You need to keep your private life private. If Samson had his relationship with Delilah, wonderful times, love, everything, the love story would have been different from his, destructive story. But he divulged more than he could. When you have a secret, you need to keep it a secret until you're sure if somebody can handle it. And by the way, a secret that is told to another person is no longer a secret. And then listening to Korra talk about the fact that she did everything she could do. Is another kettle of fish entirely. She said she made sure she satisfied him in bed with whatever he wanted, whichever way he wanted it. Two, she cooked for him. And then for me to just add that she had two children. What does that tell us? It tells us that children does not sustain marriage. Number two, it also tells us that being good in bed or whatever does not sustain a marriage. Number three, that you cook for somebody, you wash somebody's clothes, whatever you do does not sustain marriage. I think marriage is far more than these superficial things. Marriage is an understanding, a story, a coming together of two people who would decide to study themselves and live for one another. Probably Korra did not get to know Justin Dean to know this is what this man liked. And Justin Dean probably on his own side did not bother to find out what does she like, who is she like. They never got to discover themselves. So what am I saying to us today? Is the fact that this marriage did not succeed because they brought their secrets outside. And by the way, everybody has a secret. That's why the word secret is there. Everybody has a private life. That's why the word private is there. Any word you see that is in existence means that it's supposed to be used. So they brought out their secrets out there. They brought out their private life. Something that was supposed to be private, they brought it out into the public domain as everybody had something to say about it. They didn't go back, shut their doors to say, oh, let's sit down and let's think about how this is happening. The thing that happened was, I'm done with this marriage. I can't put up with it again. As soon as Justin did that, she too began to talk. So they brought out their private life, they brought out their secret, they brought out everything in the public domain as everybody became a judge in their own story. And for people out there, just know that marriage is not about, being good in bed. Marriage is not about cooking. Marriage is not about having children. Otherwise, Justin Dean would not have been talking about a divorce. A few days after Korra gave birth, I watched that birth giving. I watched that day she gave birth. It was a live program and it was a natural birth. She gave birth naturally. So what I'm saying here is, out there, please keep your secrets. The social media is vast. It's a place where anybody can say anything or do anything. But you mustn't bring out your secret. There are some things that are meant to be secret. There are some things that are meant to be private. Please keep them private. Keep them secretly. And if you are married, you need to study the person. You need to know what the person likes, and don't go out there to do what you think that the person likes, because Justin Dean probably liked some things or expected some things or went into the marriage with some things in mind which Korra did not give. She may be thinking she gave her all. Well, that's what I have for us today. Please don't forget to keep your secrets. It's your secret, it's your personal privacy, it's your personal property. If you bring it out there, it's going to be in the public domain and anybody can use it for you or against you. That's what I have for us today. Please don't forget to hit the notification button, the bell icon, just in case you like what you see. Because what we do here in this channel is to bring out things. We don't just talk about people, we bring out principles that we need to apply to make ourselves a better version or the best version that would impact humanity. Until I come your way again, just be you, be real, and don't forget that when you discover something that works for some other person and it's worth applying in your life, you can apply it and get the best results and be the best version of you. Bye bye, and stay strong and stay blessed.